Transfer fever has reached a blistering pitch. Eberechi Eze, the mercurial Crystal Palace creator, is suddenly the centrepiece of a North London tug-of-war that could reshape title expectations before the season even begins. Reports suggest a £68 million release clause, a figure that has focused every scout, director and betting slip in the capital, and with that clause reportedly valid only for a handful of days, Arsenal and Tottenham find themselves in a race where timing, money and nerve will decide more than just a signature. Tonight's story isn't just about one player moving clubs, it's about momentum, message and who in North London dares to press the fast-forward button on their ambitions. Ben Foster's recent neck-and-neck warning has added fuel to the fire. Pundits are weighing tactical permutations, and fans who thought the window was winding down are suddenly staring at a new possible game-changer. Eze has been a standout at Selhurst Park for years, a creative no. 10 with low centre of gravity dribbling, an ability to unlock tight spaces and a scoring touch that turns half chances into headlines, which explains why both Arsenal and Spurs have chased him persistently. The interest isn't speculative. Sources say Tottenham have reopened talks and taken concrete steps to engage Eze's camp, while Arsenal remain linked but are balancing the move against a need to clear space on their wage bill and in the squad. That split in momentum is what makes this story combustible. One club appears ready to move quickly. The other is weighing trade-offs and mate money calculus that could hand the initiative to their rival. The calendar adds drama. Multiple outlets have reported that the reported £68 clause remains active only for a narrow window, an expiry that places both clubs under intense pressure to either trigger the clause or negotiate a higher fee afterward. When a clause and a deadline collide with competing suitors, transfers tend to accelerate into fevered, unpredictable finishes. Agents, directors and players all react in hours rather than days, and small decisions, who speaks first, who lodges paperwork first, can carry outsized weight. That ticking clock element transforms a routine market chase into a mini-thriller where hesitation is costly. On the pitch, the consequences are immediate. For Tottenham, who have lost or been forced to adapt around creative players this window, Eze would slot into a no. 10 role that gives them an unpredictable central spark. Quick turns, vertical passes and goal threat from midfield that could patch recurring inconsistencies in the final third. For Arsenal, adding Eze would deepen an already dangerous attack, offering Arteta more permutations. A player who can rotate into wide spaces, link with forwards and carry the ball through pressing traps. In plain terms, Eze can both create and relieve pressure, making him a premium piece for any title-chasing project. Fans and coaches talk about balance. Eze brings both creativity and mobility in the same package. But transfers are more than tactics. Arsenal's reported reluctance to immediately commit to the fee, driven by squad size rules, the need to sell before buying, and a transfer spend that has already been significant this summer, opens a window for Spurs to act decisively. Tottenham's reported steps to speak directly with Eze's representatives could give them an advantage if Palace require a negotiated sale after the clause window passes. When a club shows readiness to move aggressively and the player is open to a switch, the momentum often follows. That dynamic, readiness versus restraint, is the human story behind the numbers. Beyond the clubs, the fan theatre makes this larger than a contract. North London pride, derby bragging rights and the psychological message of poaching a top rival's target all matter in a rivalry that feeds on narrative as much as on result. If Tottenham pull this off, it's not just a new signing. It's a statement of intent that could tilt local momentum and, crucially, influence the early season mood. If Arsenal get him, pundits say the Gunners would be an even more intimidating title contender. A case Ben Foster has publicly made, and the optics of that capture would reverberate across the league. So where does this leave us? The Eze story has all the ingredients of a classic transfer saga: a talented player, a concrete price tag, a shrinking window, and 2 London clubs with everything to gain and something to prove. Over the next 48 hours, expect feverish negotiations, sudden announcements and a social media firestorm as supporters react in real time. Whatever happens, one thing is certain: this isn't a minor move. It's a potential pivot moment for both club seasons and the kind of transfer that can change narratives before the first whistle of the new campaign. If you want the fastest updates and a breakdown of how Eze would fit tactically for either side, subscribe and hit the bell, because in a race decided by hours, you don't want to miss the finish.